got a hell of a lot. In my eyes this is the best item. And the lid just come off to look like I've literally just murdered a squid on the page. Hi guys! Today I'm going to be filming something slightly different, and I know I say this literally every time, but slightly different. Continuing with my back to school themed kind of videos, or back to Zoom, or back to Skype, or whatever people use. I am going to be showing you some stationery that I've got hold of, and this is all to allow you to live your best life and take your best notes. So well, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about is this fabulous, and I mean fabulous, like so fabulous that I've already spoke about this in one video, even though I mostly do makeup and fashion videos, but we don't want to talk about it. There is this notepad. It's called White Lines, and I've used it before. It didn't disappoint at all. It's basically just white lines on grey paper, so it looks less harsh when you write on it. The paper is gridded. You can get it lined as well, I'm sure, but I prefer grid paper because it makes my handwriting look like it was generated from a font on Word. I think we could start a religion about this paper and we would be so happy for life. There is also an app that you can use, and you can scan this paper and it basically becomes a digital note, and it gets rid of the grey background and it basically turns it into white paper, so it looks like you just have a natural ability to just align your work and to write your work so neatly, like you just did it off the cuff on a white piece of paper, which is fab. So now I'm just going to be talking about some things that aren't like writing tools. They're just things that are going to aid you in your journey, you know? So the next essential thing to get, this is probably like common knowledge to everybody, but Tipp-Ex, because if you're going to be writing notes with hands, if you're going to be writing notes by hand, then of course you probably will mess up. So I usually prefer using like the tape form. You can get any brand, I guess. This is not like a shout out to Tipp-Ex exclusively. It's just like, just get whatever, as long as it covers your words and you can write on it. So this is a 10-meter pocket mouse, and it served me a very long time through many projects and many note-taking activities. So I am very happy with that. So hop on the Tipp-Ex trend. Okay, so next I got a flat hole punch, and it basically attaches itself to a binder with these here, so you can like store it in your binder. And the other side is where it will punch holes. Just be like poof, and you can store your paper in your binder, and you don't have to carry one of those like gigantic, like heavy, horrible, industrial looking ones. Okay, so that is it for things that aren't pens. So I'm gonna start with the one, the only Pentel Energel 0.5 bullet tip. I got this off of Amazon. It was like a set of 3 with like 4 or 3 cartridges to replace it, so you can even save the world. Like, you don't have to buy a new pen every time, just get refills and Bob's your uncle. The ink has an amazing flow, and when you highlight over the top it does not smudge. It's like the quickest drying ink I've ever had the privilege to use, and it's also an amazing combination with the White Lines pad because obviously it's 0.5. It's easy to stay within the grids if you would like to do so, if that's the way you want to roll with it, and it just keeps your handwriting super neat, and it's not too thick or not too thin, so it looks good on any paper, even if you wasn't to be a White Lines hoe like me. So next up for writing tools, I got this set of 3 microns. They're just normal fine liners, but they are super nice. Their colour is extremely dark, so it looks amazing on paper, and it's also good for like outlining sketches or drawings, or you can even use it as your main pen. But I find that fine liner tips can actually get worn down after time, especially if you like write on the side a bit like I do. So it's always best to just write with gel pens or biros or whatever you prefer. I do also love the fact that they come in 0.1, 0.3 and 0.5 because I've never ever realised the amount of uses that I could find for such a tiny little fine liner, but honestly it helps so much when you're drawing stuff, because sometimes you'll be drawing a small drawing and then the fine liner can like bleed out of lines and stuff if you're doing it with one that's too thick. So it's amazing and I recommend it. So next on the list is the trusty Muji gel pens, and the lid just come off. So these I've been using literally for like 4 years. They're so good. They're all 0.5 tip as well, which is the same as the Pentel Energel, so it's amazing for handwriting. I know a lot of people use the black Muji one for handwriting alone because there is a black one in here and it is amazing, but I personally find that the barrel is slightly uncomfortable for prolonged writing times, and I also find that the ink can smudge when using a highlighter over the top. So I just tend to use it for either colouring purposes or again drawing purposes if I'm fancying to leave it for a while and not let it smudge all over the other page to look like I've literally just murdered a squid on the page. They do have some seriously vibrant colours, they are very cute and they don't ghost on the page either, so as long as you're willing to leave it for a while to dry, then it's all good. So next up is a more mainstream kind of thing. I've got a hell of a lot. These are the Stabilo, Stabila, I don't know how to pronounce them, but they are the fine liners. They are very much like the microns, but they are much cheaper and come in a very wide variety of colours, and I don't even think these are all of them. So these are just all-rounder, really good, price-wise, quality-wise, colour-wise, just everything. I don't have one negative gripe about them, they're just so good. I've had those for years and years and years and they've never failed to disappoint me. I think I've had this set in particular for about 7 years and they're still running, they're still good. Calligraphy brush pens. Yeah, I can't do calligraphy at all, so I basically buy them and pretend, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to be okay with it, but I'm not. So I got some Tombow Fudonosuke, I think they are, which sounds amazing. I love that word. These are tiny brush pens. They are so cute. I just can't do calligraphy very well. I'm still in the beginner stages. I have a hard tip one, a soft tip one, and I think another soft tip one with a grey bit as well, which is really cool. And it's super cool for titles and stuff like that because you don't really want to be using a massive brush pen for titles sometimes if it's like a small piece of paper or you just want to do like a subtitle. Following on the tone of brush pens, I've also got lots of the normal Tombow brush pens. These are huge, like they are literally bigger than my head. They're amazing and the colours are really cool. They have one giant brush tip side which is so flexible and so good. They also have the regular felt tip side on the other end, which is really useful because you can colour coordinate stuff and write subtitles. Final stationery item. I saved this purposely till last because in my eyes this is the best item. Of course you probably already guessed, it is the Zebra mild liners. The colours, the aesthetic, the quality, give me a minute because they're so good. And I repurchased some because I know I'm going to have a lot of academic work to highlight, and I do want them in cute colours because somehow I am a visual learner and I need everything to be in aesthetic colours or my brain just decides it doesn't want to take in that info, doesn't want to absorb it. As it states in the name, they are mild, so they do not come out like fluorescent highlighters, and there is a neon pack, but that's not really neon at all because it's muted neon, which is so cool. Like the Tombow brush pens, they also have a felt tip end so you can do some colour coordinating. So that is about it on the video. I've enjoyed talking about pens, which makes me sound very sad. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to me to see more from me in the future, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload. Have a wonderful day, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye!